My son almost got abducted on his way to school, and all I could do was laugh. My son keeps a laminated copy of his perfect attendance certificate on his bedroom wall, right next to his color-coded planner. He has 3 alarms set for 6:15 a.m. and wakes up at 6:12 every single morning to turn them off before they ring. In 8 years, he has never been late to anything. So when my phone rang at 8:47 a.m. and I saw Lincoln Middle School on the caller ID, my chest tightened. Mrs. Miller, this is the attendance office. Your son didn't check in for homeroom this morning. I was already standing up. What do you mean? I saw him awake when I left at 6:30 this morning. We're just confirming he's absent today. He's not absent. My keys were in my hand. Something's wrong. I called his phone. Straight to voicemail. Called again. Nothing. I was backing out of the driveway when my phone rang again. Mrs. Miller? Principal Howard? Your son just arrived. Relief flooded through me until the principal added, but there's been an incident. We need you to come in immediately. The police are here. My hands went numb on the steering wheel. The police? Just get here as soon as you can. I ran 2 red lights. The school parking lot had 3 police cars parked out front, lights still flashing. Principal Howard was waiting inside the main entrance, face pale. Before I could say anything, she gestured toward the conference room. He reported an attempted abduction. The floor tilted. What? The conference room had fluorescent lights that made everything look too bright. My son was sitting at the table with a gray blanket wrapped around his shoulders. 2 officers flanking him, notepads out. He looked up when I walked in and his face crumpled. Mom! I grabbed him. Are you okay? Did someone hurt you? One of the officers cleared his throat. Your son says a man in a dark vehicle followed him on his walk to school this morning. Called out to him. Asked him to get in the car. He paused. When your son refused, the man got out and started walking toward him. Your son ran. Principal Howard spoke from behind me. That's why he was late. He came straight here to report it. My stomach dropped. Late. My son was late. One of the officers leaned forward, pen ready. Can you describe what he looked like? My son stared at the table. His hands were clenched so tight in his lap, his knuckles were white. Old, maybe 50. Had a beard, dark sunglasses. What kind of vehicle? The other officer asked. My son paused. Black sedan, normal looking. I didn't see the license plate. The officers exchanged a look. One wrote something down. The second officer leaned in. Was he wearing anything distinctive? My son hesitated. A jacket, dark jacket. Did he say anything specific to you? My son's voice got quieter. He said he knew my mom. Asked if I needed a ride. My heart stopped. They were taking notes faster now. One of the officers looked up. What time was this? Around 8:10. My son said. Which street? He took a deep breath. Maple. Near the intersection with Oak. One officer stood up. We're going to canvass that area immediately. This is the 3rd report we've had in 2 months. My head snapped toward him. 3rd? Different neighborhoods but similar descriptions. We take this extremely seriously. They kept us there for another 40 minutes, going over the timeline, what the man's voice sounded like, whether my son had seen the car before. My son answered everything in that same quiet, shaky voice, never looking up from the table. Finally, one officer closed his notebook. We'll be in touch. In the meantime, we're increasing patrols in the area. He looked at my son. You did the right thing coming here immediately. Principal Howard walked us to the main office. I signed him out. We walked to the car without speaking. We were halfway home when my son said, Mom, his voice sounded wrong. I need to tell you something. I pulled into an empty parking lot and turned to face him. He couldn't look at me. His hands were shaking in his lap. There was no car, no guy with a beard, none of it. He looked up and his eyes were filled with tears. I was late. My mouth fell open. You were? What? I was late for the first time ever. His voice cracked. I fell back asleep and woke up at 7:52 and panicked. Couldn't find my history homework. Got to school at 8:14. He wiped his eyes. I'd never been late before. I walked up to the entrance and froze. Then I remembered that assembly about stranger danger, and I went to the office and said someone tried to grab me. I sat there staring at my son who'd faked an attempted kidnapping because he was 14 minutes late for the first time in his life. Then I started laughing. I couldn't help it. The absurdity of it hit me all at once and I just lost it. He stared at me in shock. You're not mad? Oh, I'm furious, I said, wiping my eyes. But you're not telling anyone the real reason. He looked up at me. Really? Really, but you owe me. Big time.